Now, welcome all to this fifth episode on how we can improve our future Kenya, our future Africa, and our future world. So I'm Davidson Otieno Omondi, a student at Rongo University, taking Bachelor of Education Science, Faculty Physics and Chemistry. So today, in this fifth episode, we are going to talk about drugs and substance abuse, how it can affect our future generation, and how we can negate from the negative effects of drug and focus on the positive side of life. Now, in this episode, under drugs and substance abuse is a topic under education and life. And in this topic, we are going to start by understanding the meaning of the terms drugs and substance and the meaning of the term abuse. Then we will look at commonly abused drugs and reasons why people abuse drugs. Then we will finalize by the effects of drugs on our future generation and how we can reduce these effects of drugs and thus improving our future Kenya, our future Africa and world, making it bright. Now, what is drug? Drugs are substances that changes a person's mental or physical state. So once you take a drug, it will change your mental and physical state. What is abuse? Abuse is just bad purpose or effects. So bad purpose or effect is what is termed abuse. Now, what is drugs and substance abuse? This is the use of drugs for other purposes other than what it was meant for. So those are the definition of those terms. So commonly abused drugs include alcohol, cannabis, cocaine, heroin, marijuana or weed, cigarettes, and so many other abused drugs. Reasons why people abuse these drugs. What causes these people to abuse drugs? What are the reasons which may make a person abuse drugs? We must tackle these so that we may come up with effective solutions on how we can stop or actually reduce the effects of drugs abuse. One of the causes is peer pressure. Peer pressure, which has affected most of our students and youth? Peer pressure. True is early exposure to drugs. Early exposure to drugs. Example, when a child is born on those areas where drugs are being manufactured or where drugs are being abused daily, definitely most of the children will abuse these drugs at their future lives. Number 3 is lack of parental guidance. Parental guiding is one of the most important and key factor on avoiding the drug abuse. Therefore, lacking the parental guidance may lead to drug abuse. Number 4 is physical and sexual abuse. Physical and sexual abuse. This may lead to stigmatization. So, due to stigmatization, a person may involve him or herself in the abuse of drugs. Number 5 is stress. Stress may be due to economic factors or any other reason which this may lead to drugs and substance abuse. Number 6 is social media. Social media. Due to development of social media, which pass different contents. So as our children, as our learners, as our students watch these media resources, they may adapt the use of drugs, and thus they become addicted and therefore abusing these drugs. Number 8, abuse may be caused by curiosity, being curious to test these drugs, therefore ending up being addicted, thus abusing the drugs. The final one is health. Health may cause people abuse drugs such as inhalants. Health. So those are the few reasons why people abuse drugs I've highlighted. Now, what are the effects of these drugs on our future as Kenyans, as Africans, and as world? Number 1, drugs and substance abuse may lead to mental confusion. And due to mental confusion, we are not going to be economically productive, and thus leading to deteriorating future. Thus, we should at least stop abusing these drugs. True, drugs has effects on our health, such as it may lead to diseases, example lung cancer, liver cirrhosis, which may lead to early death, and thus we may lose able and embodied personnel who could help us achieve our dreams as Kenya, as Africans, and as world. Thus, if we lose these people, we also lose as nations. Number 4, drugs has effects on academic. It leads to academic difficulty. And as we had stated on our second episode, that academics is a key factor, is one of the key factors for a productive, for a bright and more bright future. Therefore, if we deteriorate the academics, which we have just killed our future as Kenyans. That's one of the effects of drug abuse. We should try to really avoid this because it leads to academic difficulty. 4, it leads to poor peer relationship. As we had earlier stated on peer counseling, a counseling of people of your same level, especially age and economic. And we say that one of the peer relationship is to build unity. And we need unity in order to develop our country as one. Therefore, if we have these people who abuse drugs, they may lack or they may be affected by poor peer relationship, leading to this disunified nation. Thus, we fail as a country. Now, the 5th effects of drug abuse, that it leads to involvement in injustices. Example, rape, which may lead a person to jail and thus blocking him or her to achieve his or her desired dreams. How can we reduce negative effects of drug abuse on our future in Kenya, our future Africa and world? 1, we need to understand how substances are being abused. If we understand these, we will be able to come up with necessary solution on how we can reduce their effects of drug abuse. Now, we need also to educate people on the effects of drugs and substance abuse so that they may stop abusing these drugs as they know their effects. 3, we need to educate people of the effects of peer pressure. We need also to counsel those trapped in drug abuse. And lastly, we need to practice well-balanced life, like avoiding stress. So I'm Davidson Otieno Omondi. I would like to welcome you to the next episode so that we may improve our future as Kenyans. Thank you.